Hey guys, it's Sarah and I am here with my August wrap up. So August started out actually pretty strong because it was Booktubeathon for the first week, so I got through a couple of pretty big books, and then after that kind of went so I kind of hit a little bit of a slump. It wasn't anything terrible, but I definitely didn't read as much as I wanted to read, and I did not get to everything on my TBR, but I did read some really good books, including one that is probably very high up in one of the best books I've ever read, ever. So let's get started. First book that I read is 100 Days of Happiness by Fausto Brizzi. This was sent to me by Penguin Random House for review, and I read it and I reviewed it and I loved it. This came out on August 9th, I believe, so this is available now. And I do have a full review video up for this one, so if you haven't seen that yet, go ahead and click the link in the description I'm going to leave. But I really enjoyed this. 4 stars, loved it. Thank you, Penguin, for sending me this. And yeah, this one made me very, very happy. And this book fulfills the reading challenge prompt for me for my reading challenge I'm doing this year for a book that was originally published in a different language. This was originally published and written in Italian. The second book that I read is one that is possibly one of my favorite books of all time, and it's my first time reading it, and this is a classic. It is a book that millions of people love and still love. I read this one for Booktubeathon for the prompt to read someone else's favorite book, and this is one of my mom's favorite books, and she's been bugging me for a really long time to read it, and I finally did, and that's To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, and I loved it so much, you guys. And it probably wasn't the best readathon book because it's very deep, and you have to take your time with it, you have to absorb it, but it was beautiful. It was a beautiful, beautiful book, and I was swooning over Atticus Finch, like for real. He has my heart for sure. I really, really loved it, and I gave it 5 stars, and it's very possibly one of the best books I've ever read of all time, and big competition with Harry Potter's. I don't know which one is better, but yeah, so just, yes. And this book fulfills a prompt for my reading challenge as well, and this one fulfills the prompt for a book you were supposed to read in school but never did. I didn't read it in school because I was never assigned it by any of my teachers, and so that's why I didn't read it. So if I had been assigned it, I would have read it for sure. But yeah, so I'm gonna count it because I should have read this in high school. I'm really upset that I didn't read this in high school because I missed all those years of having this in my brain. The third book that I read was our book club pick for this month for the book club that I'm in locally here, and it was called This Little Piggy Went to the Liquor Store, and that's by A.K. Turner, and it's a nonfiction, and it's just kind of funny stories about motherhood and kind of your life taking a different direction than what you think it's going to. And it was okay. It wasn't anything spectacular. It wasn't life-changing. It made me laugh for sure, and a few situations I kind of related to her a little bit about motherhood and things like that. But for the most part, some of the stories were just kind of weird, and I didn't understand how all of her stories were supposed to come together and like teach her lessons or do anything like that. So I don't know. It was okay. I think I was probably generous on Goodreads. I'm not sure why. I don't remember exactly what I gave it. I might have given it 3 stars, but it was just kind of okay for me. And no one else in my book club liked it either. We all kind of felt the same way. It was just kind of like, okay, it was fine. It was a quick read. It was cute. It was, sometimes funny. But as a whole book, I don't think it really made a ton of sense. It was just kind of like stories, and I don't know. It was okay. This book actually does not fulfill any prompts for my reading challenge this year, so it's just a little extra freebie book. The next 2 books that I'm going to talk about are ones that I'm currently reading, and I'm not finished with them yet. But the first one is called Rook, and it's by Sharon Cameron, and this is the first pick for the Perustopia, I believe that's the name of it. It's a new book club that Reagan from Peruse Project and Sasha from A Book Utopia have started on Goodreads, and I quickly joined as soon as I heard the announcement, and this was the first book for the month of August that they picked to read. I'm currently reading it. I'm about 75% of the way through it right now. I do plan on finishing it this weekend. So far, it's good. It's kind of taking a while for the action to kick in. The action is just now kind of kicking in to a point where I'm like, ooh, I want to see what happens. But for a few days there, I was kind of not really looking forward to picking it up a whole lot, just because it was a little bit slow. But now it's really starting to pick up. And this book is about a dystopian Paris. I believe it's kind of dystopian. I'm not exactly sure if it's set in the past or in the future. It seems like it's in the past, with the way that their clothing and, you know, kind of their mannerisms are described. But it's, you know, Paris is kind of in shambles, and there's like upper cities and lower cities, and just a lot of people are being killed for no reason. And this girl is labeled as the Red Rook, and she's kind of like a hero in disguise. No one really knows who she is, but she is helping people, and it's kind of going through her struggles, and there's a lot of issues. She's been engaged to somebody, like been told to be engaged to somebody, and he has ties to who is doing all these bad things, so they're trying to figure all this out, and lots of emotional conflict as of right now. And right now it's actually starting to get more into the action of physical, you know, like things are going down. So so far I'm enjoying it. It definitely took a little bit too long, I think, for the action to really kick in, but now I'm really like, I'm excited to go pick it up here soon and give it some more reading. But yes, I plan to finish it for this weekend for sure, and I will talk more about my final feelings in my September wrap up, probably, because I'm almost done, but I'm not quite there yet, so I don't really know what happens quite yet. So yeah, that's where I stand on that one so far. And this book fulfills a prompt for my reading challenge this year. Actually, surprisingly, it's going to fulfill the prompt to read a book that is set in a place you've always wanted to visit. And I've always wanted to visit Paris. I don't want to go to the Paris that's in this book necessarily, but in Paris in general. So I'm gonna say it counts. And the final book that I am reading right now is Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. And I'm actually listening to this on audiobook. I'm listening to it when I'm at the gym on the treadmill and really enjoying it. I'm about 40% through it so far. I'm trying to keep along where I am in the audiobook on my Kindle as well, because I have all 7 books on my Kindle. So I'm, kind of following along a little bit as to where I am so that I know how far into the book I am. But I'm about 40% right now, and I'm really enjoying it. I did watch the show first. So I watched the show and then I started the book, which I know is, I normally don't do that. Normally I will read the book first before I watch a show or a movie or anything like that. But this one, I don't know. I kind of was on the fence on whether or not I was even going to read them at all, because they are so big, very intimidating, and it's taken me this long to actually, pick it up and read it, because it's been around for 20 plus years. So, I could have picked it up anytime to do it, but I kind of drug my heels a little bit on it. And, but the audiobook I think is really helping me, and I'm really just enjoying it. And the woman who narrates it is really, really good. She has the most gorgeous English accent, so that's helping as well, But so far, the show is following the book pretty closely. There's just so much more detail in the book, which is why they're so long. But I am really, really enjoying it. And yes, I am back in the world of Claire and Jamie, and I'm very happy about that for sure. And this book is going to fulfill a prompt for my reading challenge this year as well, which is to read a book over 500 pages, because it's easily over 500 pages. It's really long. Hey, that's it. That is what I read in the month of August. Pretty good. 3 full books, and I'm in the middle of 2 of them. So I'm pretty good with that, considering I kind of hit a little bit of a slump. But yes, so I will be back in another day or 2 with my September TBR when I figure out what the heck I'm going to read. I have to give it some thought. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions at all, please let me know, and I'll be happy to answer them as best I can. And I will see you again soon. Have a great day. Bye.